absolutely love allium balls, and these surprised me. I didn't know they were here, and I thought because we had redone our beds that I had lost a lot of them. Well, I guess it's true. We did lose a lot of them. I do have this one blooming in the back beds where I used to have a whole bunch, and I'm super excited that I have at least one. I'm going to plant some more in the fall. I've got a lone allium blooming in my beds. I absolutely love alliums, but in our revamping of the beds, I think a lot of them got pulled up, so I'm excited that I have one. I'm going to show you a photo right now of a whole bunch in our beds. There's another one really far down here that is going to bloom. I have some alliums in the front yard that are going to bloom, and I also have some drumstick alliums. I know where they're at, so I'll be sharing those with you later. But let's go ahead and talk about alliums. It's allium. Allium is how it's said. They're also known as ornamental onions, and allium is a Latin word for garlic. So sometimes they smell like garlic when you pull the bulbs up, and sometimes onion. I know when I am pulling up onions in my grass that are unwelcome onions, and I get them above ground and I smell the bulb, there's definitely a smell to them. So the flowers don't smell like onion or garlic, but if the bulbs do, if I were to dig them. These are in the Amaryllidaceae or Amaryllis, something like that, family. It's interesting. I'm having trouble identifying each of these. I've planted so many different ones over the years. I do have where I've bought a lot of the purple sensation variety, and I found it very interesting that this is an Allium flatunense or a hollandicum. So I have found conflicting information about the purple sensation variety online. Some say that the two are synonymous, but they may just be very similar. The hollandicum is native of Holland and is believed to have originated in 1963. And the flatunense is native of Iran. So one's Holland and one's Iran. But a lot of people say they're synonymous. I have a tag where I planted the purple sensation in 2019 and again in 2023, which was last year. That doesn't make sense. The flower ball is 4 inches to 5 inches. I need to measure. I don't know if that's 4 to 5 inches. It might be. And it's 28 to 30 inches high. But the purple sensation is popular and has earned the Royal Horticulture Society's Award of Garden Merit. I've also bought some at the box store in 2019 that just said globe. But when I go looking for globe, there is no globe. There's Globe Master, which I have bought, and none of these are Globe Master. So I'm not sure what they mean by that. I've bought one called Allium Persian Blue, but I don't think I have that anymore. Now, I did buy some Globe Masters one year, 2019, and I'll insert some pictures here of those, and I absolutely love them. So that one is pronounced Allium Christophii and Maclanii. So it's a hybrid of those two, and it gets 8 inches to 10 inches in the ball. I have a picture of me holding one in my hand. It's huge and I absolutely loved it. and I'm certainly gonna buy it again as soon as funds allow. It lasted several years. The second year, I think I had 5 the first year, and the second year maybe 3, and the third year I don't even know if I got any, maybe 1 or 2, and then they were gone. So I don't know why they're not lasting. Sorry if I'm not focusing on this one flower well enough, because I'm also reading. Alliums can be eaten, but the flavor of them varies widely between species. Some of them are very bland, and some of them taste good. They smell like onions and garlic. The smell, though, is a turnoff for squirrels, deer, and rabbits. So squirrels, deer, and rabbit leave them alone, just like the daffodils, but that doesn't explain why mine disappear sometimes. I believe some varieties might grow easier than other varieties and come back more faithfully than other varieties, and some are finicky with being too wet or too dry and are more susceptible to rot. So alliums are a bulb and can be divided with bulb offsets, although I've not had that experience yet because mine tend to disappear. It could be that we planted them randomly throughout the garden, so we had a nice spread of them through the garden, and then when we planted other things on top of them, they inadvertently got destroyed. And so this year I'm going to buy some more this autumn, and I'm going to put them in little circle clusters and mark them. I saw it written that the flower is in the shape of an umbrella, which would be like an umbrella. I guess maybe a little bit, but I see it more like a ball. And it's on top of a leafless stem, so we can look at that. I got it right next to some yarrow that's also blooming. So the leaves down here, they're already yellowing, just interesting. But this is what the leaves look like. Kind of much like the daffodil leaves. And then it's on a leafless stem all the way to the top. So like most bulbs, the leaves need to die back, which these are already starting to do, which is interesting. So that the nutrients go back into the bulb so it'll bloom next year. Here it looks like some smaller ones. I wonder if they haven't gotten enough water. Now here's what my drumstick alliums look like. They look more like the onions that are undesirable in the yard. They are totally different. And this is also an allium. It's standing more upright than the drumstick. I'm not sure what variety it is, but I do like that it's in one spot, and it's been coming back several years. We'll wait for it to bloom. Its leaves are definitely different than the first. I couldn't remember if I shared this allium the other day, but it is got the same leaf structure, kind of more like the tulips that are here, only thinner. And I think this is the purple sensation, because look how big that one is. I need to look to see the difference in leaves. I have 2 kinds of leaves. It's really lovely against my water fountain, the white of my water fountain. I love finding lovely things. But it's also lovely in combination with my husband's teal and white doohickey. I mean windmill. I found some more allium where we had transplanted them to behind a rose bush. And I moved them over here, so hopefully they'll bloom next year. I want to have a collection of them. Aren't they beautiful? These allium are getting ready to bloom. I've been waiting a long time to finish my video. Look, this one has purple at the top, and this one has a little bit more purple at the top. I have all these purple poppy mallow, and there they are, a whole bunch of them. I have been waiting a long time for these drumstick alliums to bloom. You can see they're just like the other ones. They're starting to die back. They look like the spring onions that are weeds. The leaves are so much different than the other ones. You can see they are green at the bottom, and they start turning purple from the top down. It's kind of fun. Here's 3 in a row. This bottom one is fully bloomed out. They'll all get this way, and they're really lovely when you walk in front of them. So these are Allium sphaerocephalon. Sphaerocephalon. That's funny to say. I first planted them in 2020. And here, amongst our very large bed of purple poppy mallows, right in the center is a bunch of Allium drumsticks. These are larger. You can see with the long naked sticks. But let's look at one. There, I got a whole bunch in the camera. You might have to turn your head sideways. They're really funny looking. They've got all the little points. And as I said, they're fun to watch because they start out green and they turn purple from the top down. And then you have all the little fuzzy things at the top, which I'm assuming are the reproductive parts. Just super fun. They're kind of stiff. They're fun to look at. I think they would be great in some bouquets as cut flowers. But I like seeing them in my yard. There, I got several of them in together in the same frame. Look at all these over here. They're shorter. Aren't they fun? I like drumstick alliums. I like that they bloom much later than the others so that you get something else blooming in the garden. There I gathered a bunch up with my hand for a little photo op. Is that not fun? Especially with the purple poppy mallow in the background. There you go. I lined them up together, just holding them with my hand in a spray from shortest to tallest for a photo op. Too fun, huh?